Rahab is a woman who has everything going against her. She's just one of many who were under the order of God to the people of Israel to wipe out all the enemies you find in the promised land. Her life was forfeit. The Hebrews were invading the land or about to, and anybody who wasn't a Hebrew was going to be killed, destroyed. Brothers and sisters, in a very similar way, we were also under a similar ban, a similar curse. Our lives were also forfeit because our lives were under the judgment of God because of our sin. Rahab had another thing going against her. She was a woman. And in Middle Eastern society in that day, and even to this day, that community regards women as having less worth than men. And then, of course, she practiced an occupation that was severely frowned upon in Hebrew society. We shouldn't be too critical. Like Rahab, we too are Gentiles. And before coming to faith in Christ, Paul reminds us that our minds were also full of darkness. They wander far from the life that God gives because we have closed our minds and hardened our hearts against Him. That's the predicament of men and women without Christ. So Rahab is a woman who has absolutely nothing going for her except the grace of God. And this is introduced to us and demonstrated to us when two men, we are told in the first verse of chapter 2, came to the house of a prostitute named Rahab and stayed there that night. I think this is a wonderful example of God's grace coming upon one of the least of these, whom Jesus refers to in Matthew 25. Here is a picture of how, firstly, Joshua sent the spies and they're received, they're welcomed into the prostitute's house. But it's also a picture, isn't it, of how our second Joshua, how Jesus himself sent his followers out into the highways and the byways to be received by publicans and prostitutes and the other outcasts of the society of his day. God's grace came to Rahab, and as a result, her whole household was saved.